Welcome back to Vision Auto Garage, I'm Rob and this is episode 3 of the MR Metro build. Well, today's challenge is to try and get the rear subframe mocked up in place. I'm using 16-inch MGF alloy wheels and they're far too big for both the wheel arch and the original subframe mounting points, so I'm going to have to get creative. In the last episode, I reinforced the rear bulkhead and built boxes for the roll cage main hoop. I also roughly positioned the rear subframe and thought about how I would mount it. This is one of the original Metro rear subframe brackets and it bolts to the end of the seal. I'm going to use it as a template to make a new bracket so I can line up my rear subframe. I'm using 4mm plate mild steel for these brackets, the same as I did on the roll cage boxes. They're bolted onto the sill ends for now to allow adjustment and modifications where needed, and they'll form part of the box reinforcement to complete the mounting point. Before I can make any decisions on the placement of the rear subframe, I need a point of reference. And for me, that's going to come in the form of the original Metro subframe with the MGF alloys on it. I'm going to mount that in place and then level the car and see where it sits. With no fluid in the hydroelastic suspension units, the front is sitting on the bump stops. For now, it can't go any lower. The rear arches are actually sitting on the tyres, so I'm going to need to remove some material to get the car level. At the moment, it's sitting at a 3.5 degree rake, and I really like that attitude. I'm going to set the car up level for now, because when I switch to coilover units later on, I'll be able to set the car up with the desired rake angle. With the roughest marking known to man as a guide, I cut and trim back both the outer and inner wheel arch. So after a bit more fettling and trimming of the rear arches, I've got the car sitting where I'm happy with it. I've lowered it down to about 5 3/4 inches at the rear and 5 1/4 at the front, and there's about a degree of rake. It's sitting on 6 inches of blocks underneath the rear bulkhead. I'm going to go ahead and mock up the rear subframe mounts where it sits. After some careful checking and measuring, and yes, it does make the noise, well, a noise, the subframe is levelled and centred. I'll be using M14 12.9 high tensile cap head bolts for the subframe mounts. Before the sill brackets are removed, they're marked through the subframe with a centre punch. And using my lovely new SIP pillar drill, the marks are opened out to suit the bolts. Once reinstalled and bolted up, the car can stand on its own 4 wheels. The rear has dropped a little because of some additional compression under the weight of the body, but this is nothing I'm concerned with. Next, the brackets are removed again, this time for some box reinforcement. This box will be enclosed with 4mm plate as part of the mounting structure. With the brackets reinstalled, we're one step closer to a solid mounted rear subframe. Next time, I'll start working on a plan for the rear mounts. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.